Ford CEO Jim Farley just said only one car company is actually trying to compete with Tesla right now, and it's not General Motors. And frankly, they are correct. Hello my friends and welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking, great to see you. Welcome to all the new subscribers. Welcome back everyone else. We're about to hit 80,000. That's great. Great to have you. Thank you for subscribing. Really appreciate your support. And I'll make sure I bring you the most important news as timely and as quickly as possible. Also, thank you to our Patreon supporters. Had a couple of new Patreon supporters come on over the last few days. Thank you guys. Great to have you. Welcome. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. Without you, pretty much this channel would not be possible. So it does legitimately mean a lot. Ford CEO Jim Farley says General Motors is not challenging Tesla in spite of all their bold claims over the past couple of years. In fact, Mary Barra has made many bold claims. The reality is GM's deliveries this year have been abysmal. Ford CEO Farley opened his remarks during a call late last month with industry analysts by taking a swipe at General Motors and other competitors such as Stellantis or anyone else you care to name, Lucid, Rivian, whoever, doesn't matter. Jim Farley, he's basically going all out. He's going guns blazing. He's saying, you know what, I'm taking no prisoners. I'm going to call it how it is. General Motors, you're not stepping up to the plate. Too much talking, not enough action. Now, Jim Farley calls this a high-stakes arms race. He says many automakers are talking about investing money and promising future leadership, but few are actually executing on those promises. Now, clearly Jim Farley has been watching the Electric Viking, because I've been saying this now for a long time. A long time. As you know, you're probably sick of hearing it. Farley said, what's lost is one fundamental question: who is and will be in the best position to design truly distinctive and appealing products that people actually love? That's the question, Farley said, after disclosing second quarter earnings. He then went on to say, we've been overwhelmed with the demand for our first generation EVs, the Mach-E, the Lightning, and the E-Transit, he said. These products are in the market now. I mean, to be fair, I don't think they have strong multi-year order banks for the Mach-E. They definitely could for the Transit. We don't know what their pre-orders are for Transit, but we know they do for the Ford F-150 Lightning. They've got many years of orders for that vehicle. In fact, by my numbers, they've got about 4 years of pre-orders backed up right now. He said, though, these products are in the market right now. We're selling them as fast as we can make them. Yeah, Jim, but so is everyone else. And you can't say that about many of the EVs coming to market now. Well, actually, you can. You can't say that about some of them, but most of them you can. Most electric vehicles on the market are selling at insane rates. The key issue here is not whether they're selling, it's whether they're being produced. That's the problem that Ford are, in fact, facing themselves. Like I said, selling a few F-150 electric Lightning pickup trucks is great, but selling hundreds of thousands, that's where Ford needs to be. Can they do that? Yeah, the jury's out. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. What do you think? Do you think they're going to do it? I'm not so sure. Farley is right about one thing. This is an arms race. And whoever doesn't win the arms race is going to lose. They're going to go bankrupt, or they'll have to be bailed out. They'll be a shell of themselves. They'll probably be bought out by some Chinese company. You know, Geely will probably buy the brand name. Tata, where do they buy? Jaguar Land Rover? They'll probably, maybe Tata will come in and buy them. That's the kind of an embarrassment. That's the embarrassment that's going to happen to automotive companies over the next decade. They have no choice. They have no choice but to fight the arms race or die. General Motors has more than 24 all-new electric products planned over the next 3 years, but they've shipped very few of their Ultium-powered EVs to customers, in particular this year when they said they would be. Very, very few of them are actually in customers' hands. In fact, right now, there's one Hummer electric truck. It's in a workshop. General Motors doesn't know how to fix it. It won't turn on. They don't know why. Things are really not going that well for General Motors this year. Truthfully, I had hoped things would improve after their abysmal 27 electric vehicle deliveries in the last 4 months of 2022. I thought, surely things will improve, and they have improved, but not much, not enough. Now, what about Toyota? I mean, they are the conglomerate. They are the gold standard. The people who claim Tesla will just fade away into the darkness. I mean, there's right now Wall Street analysts saying Toyota will be selling more EVs in North America than Tesla in 2029. Seriously, they're saying this with a straight face. I'm talking Bank of America level analysts. I'm talking analysts paid literally hundreds of thousands of dollars to advise people where to invest their money. These people are saying Toyota, all right, and General Motors will be selling more EVs than Tesla in 2029. In fact, they're saying, I don't know how to keep a straight face and tell you this information. It's so ridiculous. They're saying that GM will be selling twice as many EVs as Tesla in 2029. That, my friends, is pure fantasy. That's purely the land of Disney, the land of Pixar, the land of manga fantasy. It's no different to making a comic book movie called The Avengers and claiming it's real life. We might as well claim that, right, that the fantasy of Thor, that, the fantasy of Batman, just claim that's real life. It's true. No, if you believe it's true, it's going in 2029, all that's going to be true. That's the fantasy they're trying to present you with. But the sad thing is here, they're trying to rob you of your money at the same time. What does Wall Street do, right? They bait people into buying stocks, then they make money out of them. It's a big scam. Anyway, Toyota, what's going on right now? Well, Toyota were the darling of green cars, believe it or not, after launching the Prius. They were known worldwide for being this green organization, right? They even owned a whole lot of Tesla stock, and they sold it at a profit, but at a minuscule profit in comparison to what they would have made if they had held that stock. In fact, they even had a RAV4 electric car, purely electric car. No one talks about it anymore. That was a real thing. Now what's happened? Well, BZ4X, their first electric car, they said they were going to make heaps of them. Did they do it? No. A few hundred got into customers' hands, and Toyota is asking them now if they can buy them back. Why? Because the wheel nuts are falling off, and Toyota doesn't know why. You cannot make this stuff up. Toyota, the so-called manufacturing powerhouse of the world, doesn't know why the bolts are coming off its wheels, and it hasn't found a fix after 2 months. 2 months. They've had 2 months to work out why the bolts are falling off, and they haven't been able to work it out. You're telling me that is the manufacturing powerhouse that's going to suddenly magically overtake Tesla in electric vehicle sales and just dominate them? Yeah. The same company that's getting BYD to build its Corolla because it can't build EVs itself? Yeah. That is not a company that I personally have any faith in whatsoever. And clearly, neither does Jim Farley. Jim Farley doesn't believe that Toyota is stepping up to the plate either. That was part of the point he was making. Toyota led on clean cars back in the day. Now critics say it works to delay them, said the New York Times in a July 2021 headline. It's true. Toyota has spent more money lobbying against EVs than it's actually probably spent investing into them. Ludicrous. It's insane. As the world moves toward EVs, Toyota is fighting climate regulations in an effort to buy time. Time that they do not have. Time that is gone. The Detroit Free Press says that while GM decided to take extra time designing a new lineup of electric vehicles from a clean sheet, Ford jumped into the market quickly by modifying vehicles people would recognize with the F-150 Lightning and the E-Transit. The Mach-E was purpose-built to be sexy and inspire buyers who wouldn't otherwise switch from gasoline-powered to battery-powered. Now, personally, I quite like the Mach-E, and I think it's a good car. Not as good as a Tesla Model Y, but definitely a good choice if you want to stick to the Ford brand. GM is expected to flood the market with newer... The Detroit Free Press says that GM is expected to flood the market with new EVs over the coming 18 to 24 months. If Mary Barra is to be believed. Do you believe her, though? I mean, genuinely, I'm really curious to know. Do you believe the woman? I don't. I think she's a con artist. A lot of people call Elon Musk a con artist, but the guy actually does deliver. Mary Barra, on the other hand, right now just looks like a con artist. That's my opinion. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Maybe am I being too harsh? I don't think I am. Realistically, though, companies are making big gambles, taking big risks. General Motors is investing many billions of dollars into EVs, so are many other companies. There's a lot of money here at stake. A lot of jobs are at stake. GM began delivering the 2022 GMC Hummer EV pickup late last year, but at a starting price of $109,000 US. It's a very niche vehicle, and they haven't delivered many of them. From January to June of this year, they've sold 371. 371 in 7 months. That's nothing. That's a pittance. But Ford says it has delivered F-150 Lightnings to customers in 50 states, including government purchases, including Los Angeles, Charlotte, North Carolina, Portland, Oregon, Orange County, Florida, and the state of Colorado. I mean, clearly there's only 2 states they haven't delivered to. I'm going to guess that those 2 states would be what? Hawaii and probably Alaska. The other 50, they've delivered at least 1 to all 50. They might have only delivered 50 of them. We don't know. I'm going to guess it's more than that, but who knows? Ford actually did sell, though, 15,273 electric vehicles in the second quarter. That's more than double those sold by crosstown competitor General Motors. Tesla doesn't reveal its US sales, so we're not sure exactly what those are right now. But we know they're a hell of a lot more than what Ford and GM and Toyota and Volkswagen and Hyundai did all put together. A lot more than what they sold all put together, right? Now, Farley says that public response and years-long order books will allow Ford to grab an outsized share of the rapidly growing EV market. That's what he's telling investors. He's telling you buy the stock because we're going to be making a lot of EVs. Is it true? He said, we have a clear path to reach a run rate of 600,000 EVs by the end of next year. And that will lead to a foundation of 2 million by late 2026. That's some big promises. A run rate of 600,000 by the end of next year. A run rate of 2 million by late 2026. Is this possible? Yes, it's definitely possible. Is it likely? No, it's not. Sorry, but I'm just being realistic. Will Ford eventually hit a run rate of 2 million EVs per year? Well, they have to. If they don't, they're going to go bankrupt. They have no choice because in 2030, customers won't want anything else. Pickup truck owners in particular. I mean, here's a good reason, right? Many pickup truck owners, probably a very large percentage of them, have to consider operating costs, right? And what have Hertz just said? Hertz just said, hey, pickup truck owners, by the way, it is 50% cheaper to run an electric version of your vehicle. And pickup truck owners probably went, whoa, gas is expensive. Whoa, servicing is expensive. Whoa, okay, a Tesla Model 3 just lasted for 510,000 kilometers and it's still going fine. That's what I want. I want that kind of reliability. I want those kind of running costs. And those things will only get better in time. As they get better, only the idiots will hang on to their ICE vehicles or buy new ones. And to be honest, that number of idiots will get less and less and less as their friends tell them they're idiots. And they learn the hard way not to look like a moron in front of everyone else by doing something stupid, by buying an old Nokia piece of junk, relic of a car, right, which is what internal combustion engine vehicles will be in 2030, or by buying a new smartphone of a car, which is what electric vehicles already are now. Farley said Ford does not view its competition simply as fellow legacy automakers, but also electric vehicle companies, including, he said, emerging Chinese players like BYD. Now, I'm not sure whether to take this seriously, but Farley says that early sales data indicates Ford is a serious contender. I'm not sure that's really accurate. If you think about it, if you look at global sales of electric cars this year, over the first 7 months of the year, Ford's not in the top 20. Not in the top 20 worldwide. If that means I should take them seriously as a serious electric vehicle player, I don't know. It means I have to have faith that Farley will deliver. Do I have faith? Yeah, I think he will. But am I going to believe that Ford will be successful based on their current sales right now? No, absolutely not. Their sales right now are not good enough. They're certainly a lot better than General Motors, but they're not good enough to say that, yes, Ford is out of the woods. Yes, we should take Ford's EV aspirations seriously. He goes on to say, we've sold more than 3,000 e-transits in the US during the first 6 months of this year. That's a market share of 95% in the full-size electric van market. 95%. In fact, our next 2 competitors combined sold just 159 vehicles. That's a good point, 95%. But that's only 3,000 vehicles. I mean, if Tesla does decide to make a van, they can sell 3,000 in a week, in a day. I mean, realistically, it's not really that big of a number. Industry analysts say that Ford is on the move and the company to watch regardless of recent recalls and lawsuits that have affected new vehicles. And that is a big problem with Ford. And it's the reason I personally have not invested in the company. In fact, I'm about to make a video on this right now, which talks about, I'll go into detail on Ford's number one problem: warranties, recalls, part problems, issues with after sales, issues with having to bring their cars back into the factories, fix them, and then that costing Ford a boatload of money. That is not good. But one thing that is good is that Ford exceeded industry expectations when it reported $3.7 billion in second quarter earnings, which is triple of that 1 year ago. On the other hand, General Motors earnings profit was down 40%. Adam Jonas, analyst at Morgan Stanley, said, "This is one of the most positive Ford calls I can remember in a very, very long time." Now, Jim Farley isn't the only one trolling the industry. Elon Musk is doing it as well. He said, in response to Lucid delivering only 679 cars over the first half of this year, when they promised that they'd deliver 20,000 for the year, obviously they're on pace to deliver what? Maybe 2,000 at best. They've revised this now to 6,000 to 7,000 for the year, but that means they're what? They need to deliver another 5,000 minimum, 5,500 in the next half of the year to meet that revised downward promise. I mean, is that realistically going to happen? I don't think so. Anyhow, as soon as Elon heard about these numbers, he said, "I had more kids in Q2 than they made cars." And, that had to make me laugh. That's funny, kind of funny and sad and weird. And it's very odd, very strange, but weird from Elon, weird from Rivian, just weird from Lucid, just weird all around. But anyhow, you get his point. He makes a really good one. And the funny thing is that Tesla has been trolled by who? The CEO of Lucid on many occasions. He said they weren't going to repeat Tesla's mistakes, right? They weren't going to repeat Tesla's ramp-up mistakes. They were going to do it. They're going to work it out. They knew how to do it. Elon was a fool. He was an idiot. You know what? They're not looking so smart now. Now, getting back to Ford, Joe McCabe, CEO of Auto Forecast Solutions, said the industry has noticed that Ford is going all in on electrification and seeing success. He said, "I think Farley's being very good in his transparency, saying it's a tough road, we'll do the best we can. There are too many new players that I'm offering this magical Tesla replacement, and then finding automotive is a very difficult industry to compete in. Case in point, Rivian came out as the darling. They finally realized making a vehicle is not easy." Now, McCabe said this: CEO of General Motors, Mary Barra, came out front and aggressive. She's still being that way. But Ford being first to mass market with electric trucks is powerful. And it reminds investors that legacy automakers know how to build and deliver vehicles for the masses and quickly. But when it comes to EVs, it's a different story. Now, personally, I think General Motors has to cringe at Jim Farley's comments. Why do they have to cringe? Because the truth hurts. Jim Farley is right. He's right on one thing. The only company even making any remote attempts this year to really compete with Tesla is Ford, from what I can see, from what the numbers are saying. And now, even though Ford's delivery numbers of EVs this year are not that great, they're a lot better than the competition in North America. Let me know in the comment section below what you think. And as always, have an awesome day. Bye-bye.